Scurryface presents Night of the Living Dreads podcast with your host, Otis B. Dreads, Jack L. Monkey. Night of the Living Dreads podcast. Indie horror has a new home.
And here's the thing, man. We have, I am Otis B. Dreads. We have Mr. Jackal Monkey. He's here. He's here. You just can't see his.
I'm here in spirit.
You can't see his beautiful face. We have our guest, Ghost Head Tom. As I mentioned, welcome everyone. I'm gonna tell you what, man. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, when the first Ghostbusters came out, I believe it was at 1984.
Oh, dude, I was fucking hooked, man. I was hooked as a kid. That was my
12
shit, dude.
fucking years old, man. I mean, it was absolutely the best shit I ever saw. I saw it in the theaters. But I'm gonna tell you what, Jackal Monkey. We have somebody. Yeah, that's right. We have somebody tonight that is. I thought I knew one of the biggest fans of Ghostbusters. How are you, Michelle? Yeah.
From what I can tell, yeah, this guy's a pretty big fucking fan.
There we go, man. We got some young viewers. Michelle wasn't born until 94. So at 94,
Warning!
Jesus Christ, right? Warning! Yeah, this is a 18 years old and over. Yes, we're gonna say some foul language. We're gonna say some bad things. Maybe there's gonna be an F-bomb, like a fuck. Like a go fuck yourself. There's gonna be that kind of things going on, man. So just know, don't have this playing if you have small children in the background, man. I mean, don't do that.
Fair warning, you brought this upon yourself.
You did by tuning in, and we love you for doing that. But put the goddamn kids away. All right, here's the thing, man. Michelle says she wasn't born until 94. All right, that would have made me about 22 years old, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. My math ain't so good, but he's a wreck.
I know, right? But
we usually have to give out the warning anyway. I mean,
always have to give out a warning. Here's the thing: if you are a Ghostbusters fan. I know we have a lot of Ghostbusters, Ghostbuster fans.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fucking fan, man.
Right? I mean, who the fuck isn't?
What?
Everybody knows that Ray Parker Jr. song. Everybody, if you say who you gonna call, they're like Ghostbusters. Everybody knows
right.
That. This is if you're a fan of this is your show. We're going to bring him in right now. Well, hold on. Let me just say, I know he's got it all set up there. I can see it down there in the it's Sky, man. We have Mr. Tom Gebhardt. Have you ever heard of Ghost Heads, the documentary? It's a documentary about Ghostbusters. You ever heard of that, Jackal Monkey?
No, I actually had it.
Came out in 2016.
He had it.
Yeah. Came out in 2016. I'm gonna have to buy it because Tom missed the intro. Another Tom is here, another friend of ours, and he actually made that intro.
Oh, damn it, man. That's a goddamn good intro. Thank you, Tom.
Welcome, Thomas, and that Thomas, and this Thomas. Here we go. Let's just get into this.
Yeah, let's get him in here.
Let's get him in. Are you ready?
Right. Of course.
I'm fucking ready. I've been drinking eggnog. I'm fucking ready.
You're drinking. Oh my God. Hold on.
Oh, hey, what's going on, Otis?
got some readings off the charts here. I'm gonna have to make bigger charts.
Going on there, man.
Yeah, well, I got some big readings there. They're off the charts. I'm gonna have to make bigger charts. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how are you, Ghost Head Tom? My God, I don't think I've ever met a bigger, Ghostbusters fan before.
Well, believe it or not, there's even bigger than me, if that's even possible. But it is. Oh yeah.
Shit.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought I had a sick obsession. Let me tell you, there's some of their fans out there that have tremendous amounts of merchandise from the last 35, 36 years. Props. I mean, they replicate full-size containment units, and it looks like it just came right off the set and just dropped in their basement. It's phenomenal.
Oh,
and the talent that really goes behind a lot of these fans really kind of explodes out in such a positive way, because you're like, wait a minute, you made that? And it's just like, what do you do for a living? And it's someone that works at a grocery store. It's someone that works in a medical facility. It's a firefighter. It's a teacher.
Exactly.
And it's just like, wow, it's like, okay, well, don't quit.
Let's talk about that, Tom. Let's talk about how you got into that, man, because we have, I don't know, I couldn't, man, I was trying to get that Lydia video, and we had Lydia Manson on this past Sunday on this show.
And it was a good show. That was actually how I found out about you.
Thank you. And
thank you.
She was she told us that she was on a certain podcast, and guess what? She was said, to be was Kylie Griffin.
Yep. Actually, Lydia just fits that role so well. Not only just
from God, I saw a picture of the guy. God, it looked like a cartoon version of it.
And we're bringing some of these, and we'll get into a little bit of what I'm working on that involves her. That we are just so happy and glad and excited to have her a part of the cast and crew for Ghostbusters Hell Fury, which we'll dabble into in a little bit, but. It wasn't even so much the look. It's her personality too. She's so fun to work with. I've seen her on screen. So I've seen the talent. I see what she's capable of, but I also see that she can be so much more, because she has so much untapped energy in her that I just know that she can't wait to get out there. She's got so many great projects coming out, this upcoming year.
You haven't met me, sir. You haven't dove into my head yet.
Do we want to do that tonight?
No. Maybe that's another podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to talk.
We'll have to come back for that one. I'll send the director over for that one.
Well, we'll definitely need to talk after the show.
So this way we'll have the host master and then the director master, the master of the minds, and we'll have a whole podcast about it.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So all right. Do you want to play? I mean, I do have this one video. I think it's the first one that you sent me, and then you were going to I was hoping to play the Lydia one because she just had a birthday. So
yes,
everyone,
big happy shout out, happy birthday, Lydia Manson.
Hey, Lydia!
Woo!
There you go, man. I tried to get the goddamn video to play, and it didn't. I mean, I don't understand, man. But
some men.
Well, I mean, maybe it's my medicine.
One question here, Otis. You gotta let me start with one.
I mean, it could be it is legal, man. Look, there's my little, my little thing. All right, go ahead.
Did you build your own proton pack?
Oh yes. So since I kind of got involved in the community and the convention appearances and everything, my first pack I built years ago, but I've built 11 proton packs so far since then.
Wow.
And the one just before the show started that I showed Otis is my original first one that I ever built. But I didn't want to put it in the background because I have some spoilers that are kind of hanging around on it from the new movie that just released. So if anyone hadn't seen it yet, I just wanted to pay a little respect to that and not spoil anything.
Oh my God, we have so much though.
Is it certain attachments that you put on the pack?
Yeah, well, so when we build the props and everything is based off people who have had access to the actual screen use props and reaching out and finding out who the people were in part of the productions and the cast and crew from the original films. And and then everything gets identified and they're real working parts, because that was part of, I think, the magic that really sold Ghostbusters was the science behind how a proton pack works is actually real life fusion. So they've just compressed it to this unimaginable small size that I'm sure some government agency has hidden in Area 51 or something, but we don't know about it. But that was what was really cool about it. So the film, it attracted so many people. So if you liked comedy, this was your movie. If you liked paranormal, this was your movie. If you were into tech and science and you were, a cool nerd like that, this was the movie for you to go see. And I think that was so much of the success that this film had was because they had such great cast members that were, at their prime and still are going. Like Ernie Hudson is still just kicking it away with web series and indie films.
Tom, I hate to cut you off, but the science is real behind the protein pack. One of our viewers are asking.
Yes, it's based off a real cyclotron, which is actually used in fusion power plants and things like that. So imagine this massive cyclotron that spins around that generates those ions and particles and everything. But in the movie, they just condensed it to this unimaginable small size to be a wearable working weapon. Which, I mean, who doesn't want an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on their back?
I don't. I do. I mean, I want one of those, man.
I mean, it only singes your back a little bit. It only singes the back a little bit.
I don't give a holy hell, dude. I don't care. What I want.
I've already got one kid. I mean, I'm done. That's all I planned on having anyway. So
hey, I am a grandparent. All my kids are older. I don't need any.
I don't know. The proton pack might enhance it. I mean, I got 3 daughters, so I mean.
Oh shit!
I don't want that shit, man.
You know what? My kids love Ghostbusters. All my daughters have their own uniforms, and they've got their own proton packs and their own collectibles, and they do the conventions. But what I admire most about my children is that they love to do not so much the conventions the most. They love doing the hospital visits. They love putting the smiles on the kids that are close in their age. They love doing the charity and the food drives and the toy drives, and they just like to show and give back to the community that they care. And I think that's what a lot of the Ghostbusters community is about. And if you watch Ghost Heads, which you can buy the DVD on Amazon, or if you have the Peacock app, you can stream it for free, and you'll see a lot of this face only a mother could love. And you'll see that these.
I mean, who do you love, man?
I'm definitely gonna buy a copy for sure, man.
Appreciate it. I mean, it's always good for the people who made its pockets, but for me, it's just I constantly promote it because I am just one small story that even myself, maybe I'm just being modest or humble, that I feel like there's others out there with far deeper reaching stories and accolades or accomplishments that supersede over things that I have been able to do. That either didn't make the final cut or whatever the reason was for the production or anything like that. But I always promote it because there are so many walks of life in this Ghostbusters community, and there's franchises. Like I have my own nonprofit, Ghost Corps New Jersey Ghostbusters, and we do all the toy drives and the conventions and everything.
I was going to bring that up here.
But there's groups across the entire country, in Canada, Japan, their logo, see, like me, I have my New Jersey logo. but Japan has their national flower, so it's a cherry blossom, but the slash and the no ghost is the islands of Japan. Real beautiful patch. And it's just, it goes worldwide.
We're in New Jersey. Thomas Ballo. I don't know. I never say his last name. I couldn't even really figure out how to say it. Was that Tomas or Thomas? But it is Thomas. Where in New Jersey are you at?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, because I saw Thomas on the screen, so I thought we were asking the fan. Me, I live in South New Jersey, but we cover the whole state, and the motto for my franchise is, awareness is half the battle, and no child in need deserves borders. So we'll do stuff in the tri-state area. We go out of state. When there's, natural disasters, we'll band together with, like the Louisiana Ghostbusters. When they got hit with the hurricane, we, mobilize and from all these different groups, and they sent and donated clothing and food and money and everything. And there's so many big hearts in this fandom, and there's so many people that I can't even remember any of their names, which is why I chose Ghostbusters, because we all wear name tape, so I can't forget anyone's name when I'm in person.
Right.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back, Tom. Let's go back to the beginning. First of all, you are obviously a fan of Ghostbusters as a young man. Are you a paranormal guy? Is that what got you into that? Is that what got you into Ghostbusters? Or were you a Ghostbusters fan and then you went to the paranormal?
So for the full story, you're going to have to go catch Ghost Heads. But what actually...
Yeah, I ain't got that much time.
So what really got me into this whole fandom and everything was in 1989. I wasn't born when the first one came out. I was born... I just missed it.
I'm the oldest motherfucker here, apparently.
A little bit.
I saw that shit in a theater when I was like 12 years old. Are you kidding me?
I just missed it. I was on the delayed release. So I came in 85, but in 89, when Ghostbusters 2 came out, all of the trailers and everything, and I mostly lived with my grandparents growing up. They were, my family. That was my home. And, I remember telling my grandfather, I want to go see that. And he goes, you can't see that without seeing the first one. And I was like, there's a first one? So he... back in the day when you used to bootleg, record the VHS off HBO, recorded Ghostbusters, watched it. I loved it.
Yep.
I loved it. And as 4 years old, when you see it for the first time and you see these proton streams shooting out and the ghosts, and it was just so wild. And then my grandfather took me to a car show in Philadelphia. And of course, I was totally geeking out as a kid, 4 years old. They had the Turtles van there and the turtle suit and then the Michael Keaton Batmobile. Nice. But then when we came around this one corner, there was the Ecto-1 car from the movie. And then there was a guy wearing the getup like I am with the pack. And as we got closer, he turned around and he looked at me and he winked and said, "Who are you going to call?" And he was wearing Ray Stantz, which is Dan Aykroyd's character, which was my absolute favorite. And
what?
I just...
You're not a Bill Murray? Come on, Bill Murray, dude.
Listen, in the little bit that we have talked, you hear the passion, you hear the love and everything that I present, and Ray Stantz is the heart of the Ghostbusters. So I fit that character a little bit. But I do have the gift of gab of Venkman, so I'm like a hybrid between the two characters.
I got you.
But I relate to all the characters in their own way. Like for my big heart, I'm Ray Stantz. For my gift of gab and never shutting up, I'm Venkman. For my craft and my knowledge, I'm the Spangler. And then for the everyday Joe that comes walking in off the street, I'm the Zedmore. The Winston.
Or me.
But when you're 4 years old, and you're sitting there and you're watching it on a TV screen or a movie screen, and then you see the car and the guy and the lights and the sounds, you're just like, holy shit, this is freaking real. I want to be this guy.
Tom, I was like that when I was 12. Okay. When I saw that movie in the theater. Okay. And I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen, man. I mean, it was. And see, man, I don't even know where to go with it because I was going to ask you, you know, where you got this love for Ghostbusters, but you just fucking told me.
That's what it was. I believed it to be so real as I was a kid, and then all the toys came out. So, I mean, like, my parents in the summertime, they would take me to Wildwood Beach. I had to bring that little Kenner Blue Proton Pack. That was like my buoy, you know? I'm staying afloat. I was busting ghosts everywhere. The Loch Ness Monster might show up, Mom. I've got to bring my Proton Pack. I went everywhere with that stuff.
You got to shoot that motherfucker back in the lake, man, right?
Yeah, well, no, we zap them, we cap them, and then we trap them. You know, they got to go in the containment unit.
Zap, trap. Yeah, I get it. Jackal Monkey, go ahead. I know you got something to say. Tom's.
I think Jackal Monkey's got a lot to say because he's a huge Extreme Ghostbusters fan.
Oh, I'm fucking a huge Extreme Ghostbusters fan. Like, well, Ghostbusters in general, like I said, dude, all right, I'm gonna break it down. And this is especially around the holidays. This is gonna, it might hit some people pretty hard. Like, whenever I was growing up, like, my family didn't have a whole lot of money, and I remember my local church and like their Salvation Army, they ended up getting me and my brother a bunch of different Christmas presents and stuff. And that was a lot of what I got was Ghostbusters. I was fucking huge into Ghostbusters. And that's what I got when you said that blue fucking Kenner Proton Pack. That was one of the things I got. I got the Ecto one.
With the big yellow with the big yellow pool noodle that's stuck at the end of the thrower. Oh yeah.
I had the fucking the ghost trap and I got that too. But yeah, man, I was a huge fucking fan of that growing up. Like you were saying, yeah, fucking whenever I was a teenager, whenever Extreme Ghostbusters came out, I was all about that shit. So I mean, and that apparently is what your fan film Hell Fury is about, right?
Well, sort of. So kind of going
into that because
let's get into that because we have I didn't mean to cut you off. We have a reveal for all your viewers tonight. So we have an exclusive video. But
I hope I got the right goddamn one because I've been weird on these videos. Hopefully this is the right one.
I think we'll figure it out. We'll get it up there, but. So with my love of Ghostbusters over the years, you know, it just kind of, you know, I had all those toys growing up, but as I got older, you know, I was still into it, still loved it, was doing conventions, started getting into the charity aspect of it and giving back to the community and having something that I love, but also being young at heart. And
right,
you know, I didn't get rid of my toys. I didn't grow up. I just got cooler toys. So I've got, you know, the real look and deal stuff, you know. And for a number of years, I had actually a replica of the car from myself, my own personal collection. I had my own replica car, and I used to drive it everywhere.
No, hold on. We got to talk about that. The replica Ecto one. When we had Lydia on, and we, played that video, you told me you noticed a look in my eyes when I see.
Yes.
That.
So when we played that video, for those of you who missed the show on Sunday,
go back and watch it.
Go back and watch it because when they released that video and shared it, because we casted Lydia for a very important role. It's a main role. There was just a little snippet of the car, and the car is a big draw. And Otis's reaction to it was exactly the reason why, and the definition why it's the draw. Because as soon as it came up on the screen, he was looking down over at something, and he happened to look up, and he was like, "Yeah!"
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I've got to put together a really cool video for when I come on here and show a little bit more of the car.
I have that right here. I hope this is the right video. Let's fucking play it.
Well, hold on before you play it. So what everyone's about to see, and because I wanted to answer his question too, is so Ghostbusters Hell Fury is directed by Michael Walker from Walker Factor Productions. And he's really, this is something personal to him. And I don't want to say too much because there is a special message from him within this video that I sent over. And you'll see why it's important to him. And we have cultivated this cast and crew of people that is really not cast and crew. It's family. When you're with us, you're family. If you're fans of what we're doing, you're part of our family. We really wanted to connect, or Mike wanted to connect the whole universe of Ghostbusters. So not just Ghostbusters 1, not just Ghostbusters 2, but the IDW comics.
Everything.
Everything. The IDW comics, the Extreme Ghostbusters. We're bringing stuff from the cartoon, like some of the villains, which we're not revealing too much yet of, but to live action.
The late 80s, Tom, the late 80s. I grew up on the Ghostbusters cartoon. I was like, oh my God, they're making, I mean, it's right around the time where they did like the wrestling cartoons. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember that? It was right around that time, man. Like
that was when they got really big with all the WWF toys, and they had the ring with the real strings and everything with the swing action arms. Remember Jake the Snake? Jake the Snake's arm was like whack.
Hell yeah.
All you had to do was
I had all that too.
Snake at me, man. No, that was awesome, man. So I mean, that was really. But go ahead.
So we're gonna get into some more details about the project after this video. But Ghostbusters is not Ghostbusters, not only without having the Busters, but you got to have the Ecto-1 car. And we didn't just go for some fan-made car. We didn't go for anything. We have the car, and I think we got to roll it now.
We got to roll. Let's just roll it.
All right, let's.
How's it going? My name is Michael Walker. I am the director, co-writer, and executive producer of Ghostbusters Hellfairy. The motivation and my passion for this particular project is because about a year ago my grandfather made me promise him that I'd never ever give up filmmaking, and he was fighting prostate cancer for 8 years. So when he passed away, I turned that promise into a vow.
That shit right there. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, it's like, how can somebody be that into Ghostbusters? I love the film. I love, all right, let me ask you this. What about the females then? Come on, dude, you shit on I mean, it's not like you're shitting on, the female actresses, that did it. But what about that? I wasn't too hip on that.
Actually, I enjoyed the film for what it was. For me, I don't put it in the same universe as the original films. For me, it's more like,
that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
It's for itself, it was a great film. It was directed by Paul Feig, who actually is a very good friend of mine. We talk privately and everything. He really wanted to put something together that went really well. And for me, my personal experience was I enjoyed it because for the first time, my daughters got to see these women be these tech science guys and being the cool, strong, independent women that they were trying to, portray. And also being badass and catching ghosts, so who doesn't want to see, a woman running around? I can't wait to see some of our, I can't wait to see Lydia and our other female casted members to be suited up and running around with a pack. I want to see everyone have that fire and that drive. And the movie I think it was really good, but I look at it as its own private entity. It's not connected to the first two films. It's its own thing. It's a reboot, if you will.
So you don't compare the the female version of
No, I love all things. I love Ghostbusters so much that I was just so happy to have it come back out, really kind of bring a whole new the 2016 film. It also brought a whole new audience to the world of Ghostbusters. It brought the kids back into it. It really revived what was already still standing so strong. Just because the first two films hold so much caliber of lightning in a bottle in terms of a film project being put out on the screen to an audience. So I enjoyed it for the aspect of what it was on its own. And I think Paul Feig did a great job on it. I have an actual replica of the proton packs that they had from that movie. And I have some other gear and stuff because same thing with Paul. He went to the science institutes and had them design. So their version of the proton pack is no different than the 84 and the 89. It's based on real science. So if we
unlike COVID, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, unlike COVID. Well, everything nowadays is due to COVID.
Damn, I didn't mean to throw that out there, but I mean, we're going to talk about the Ghostbusters proton pack is based on more science than fucking COVID. How about that?
And it's really nice. It's really nice that they did those things, and I think where people kind of had a misconception or made them dislike it was, I think the only mistake of the film was having the original actors cameo, but not as themselves. I think that's what made it harder to sell to the fans that are already in place.
Are you that Tom guy from the Whisper House documentary?
I did not know there was a Whisper House documentary, so no, that would not be me.
No, right.
No, if you watched Ghost Heads, yes, that was me. If you watched Five Nights at Freddy's versus Ghostbusters, that was me. If you went on and watched TLC's Cake Boss, I've been on there. If you have the comics, I'm in the comics.
TLC Cake Boss. Hold on, my wife is a huge fan, and of the baking shows. We've been watching one called Bong Appetit.
Yeah, that's the one where they do the weed infusions, right?
They infuse everything, right? And Jody, hey, look up Tom Gebhardt on what was the name of the show? I'm telling her in the other room. Go ahead. I mean, this is live. Go ahead.
Oh, it was Cake Boss.
Cake Boss. Tom Gebhardt. Google that shit. All right, here we go.
I never made the episode. Something with lighting, and then
you weren't
major
on the episode?
No, it was supposed to air, but then there was an issue with lighting, and then because there was some major company franchise logo that they didn't have permission to use.
Hold on. Let me. Jody, fuck Cake Boss. Tom wasn't on it. Can't go fuck yourself.
But if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see me behind the scenes. I was with Frankie, which is one of the family members of Buddy Velastro. And if you watch the show, they're based out of Hoboken, New Jersey. So and they've got amazing cakes and pastries and everything. It's just, I got to stay away from there. I'll never fit in this flight suit.
All right. So I got to ask you this. All right. Not going with, of course, because getting the traditional, the actual like ambulance car like they had in the film, that would probably cost, you know,
You're
a
talking about
shitload of
Ecto?
money. Yes. What kind of car would you recommend, Tom, to get to build like a sort of replica of like another Ecto like car, but have it like look similar to that one?
Driving in a Cadillac.
My
no, I don't want to get
you can't go wrong with a you can't go wrong with a Cadillac.
Cadillac, come on, Eskimo Callboy. If you don't know him, listen to him, man. MC Thunder, baby.
So the car in the world of Ghostbusters community, there are so many different renditions that people turn their cars in to look like the actual car. I myself, my daily driver car, I've got the logos on it and the tanks and the lights and everything. It's off now for the winter, but we have all the belts and whistles on it. But I've seen people do them out of Toyota FJ Cruisers. I've seen them on the old Caprice station wagons, hatchbacks. You name it.
I'm gonna do it with my Toyota Venza.
You know what? You have a Venza? That's a perfect Ecto because it's got a wagon-style shape and everything. It's perfect. If you got the rail bars, you can build a roof rack or get one of the cargo baskets, put it up there.
It's small. It's like a smaller version. It's like, you know.
We'll call it the emergency response vehicle. That's the one that shows up first before the big one comes.
Yeah, the EMSV, emergency response vehicle, Ecto. Tom, come on. All right, I know I've already touched on this, you know, when it comes to, you know, your love of Ghostbusters. And it was your grandfather as well as, you know, Mike's grandfather. I mean, kind of. You guys kind of had the same thing. I mean, what made you want to do this kind of shit, man?
Well, for me, it was like I said earlier. You know, just my grandfather just kind of introducing me to the first film, and then him just kind of embracing and letting me roll with my obsession that I had as a kid. And then it turned into something a lot. It turned into something a lot more.
I can't see how it turned into any kind of obsession.
I have no idea. I have gone as far as trying to track down every living cast member. So a little bit of my background, I don't know if anyone can see, but I have my plates. They are all autographed by much of the cast, including Bill Murray. I have a great Bill Murray story for you because I know you love cast stories.
I love cast stories, and I love Bill Murray.
And then from the 2016 film, you know, I've got the entire cast, everyone from Michael McDonald all the way down to Ray Parker Jr., Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and then we just had the release of the new movie.
He's even got the elbow pads on.
Oh yeah, I might go on a call, so I gotta be ready, dude. So this is so we've got Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, Ernie Hudson, Jason Reitman, who's the director of the new movie, Ivan Reitman. I was at the red carpet premiere in New York.
Ivan was in the original, right?
Yeah, well, Ivan Reitman directed the first two films, and then what's so funny for those that don't know, in the beginning of the second movie, where they had that birthday scene where Ray and Winston were kind of dancing and the kids are screaming He-Man. Well, the little boy that says, well, my dad says you're full of crap, that is Jason Reitman. No, that's Jason Reitman. That's Ivan Reitman's son. So Ivan Reitman directed Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, and then the one that just released was directed by his son, Jason Reitman. Yep, Jason Reitman, his son, directed it, and it has been a blockbuster hit. If you have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, please go out there. You will not be disappointed. They really paid attention to every detail. So if 2016 wasn't your jive and 84 was, you need to go see Afterlife. And it was so beautifully done. You know what? There's a meme that's going around with a picture of Jason's face, and it says, Jason Reitman, making grown men cry since 2021. I had the pleasure of introducing the Afterlife film at 17 different screenings here in New Jersey. And every single one of the screenings, I saw the movie 17 times since November 15th. And all 17 times I have watched grown men, women, children that know the previous films, and seeing how this one was put together and delivered, were crying. I mean, tissues, ball and tears. And if that doesn't tell you that this was a blockbuster hit, I mean, listen, this is the first film that waited to only be released in theaters, didn't care about COVID. They were like, no, we're waiting for you to come to the theater to see this. And as we speak now, domestically, we are well over 100 million at the box office.
That's awesome. Dude,
yeah,
I mean, that is really awesome. So talk to us about, for one, Ghost Heads, the documentary that some may not be aware of or have seen that came out in 2016. Tell us about that.
So Ghost Heads, the director was Brendan Mertens. He's a director out of Canada, and there was, a couple of different producers and everything, and they came up with this idea kind of like based off of Trekkie's documentary. Mm-hmm. And I just happened to be, I guess, in the right place at the right time. We were at an outdoor event, and these guys came up to me and were just asking me and some of the other group members that were, that I was with that day, like just questions and talking. And I mean, to us, they were just, regular old people or, mm-hmm. media trying to cover for the local newspaper or something. And then I forget how long it was after that day. I think it might have been a week or a couple of days. I got a phone call because I give out business cards to everyone. And I got a phone call, and it was Tommy Avalone. He's also a director himself. He made I Am Santa Claus with Mick Foley that's on Netflix, which is a great Christmas movie. So if you're a Mick Foley wrestling fan, you got to watch watch I Am Santa.
I Am Santa.
Well, I fucking love Mick
I Am
Foley.
Santa. And he goes, hey, how would you feel if, we were to kind of, follow you around with cameras, and I was like, sure, I guess I'm going to be at this Monster Mania convention in Cherry Hill, New Jersey in August. And this was back in 2015. And they were just following me around, and then it became like a regular thing. So after a while, I just kind of forgot that the cameras were there and, being my nerdy, goofy self. And they started really, touching base on the story and, kind of like how we're doing here, and then following around and seeing how it became with me and watching me drop my daughter off at her school in my Ecto-1 replica and watching the gym teacher geek out and everything. Like the gym teacher, Mr. Lee, was like, oh my God, can I sit in there? I was like, no. He's like,
right.
I'm like, get in the. I was like, get in the car. I was like, get in the car, Mr. Lee. I'm kidding. He was like, yeah. Oh my God. Here, can you take a picture? I'm like, yeah. Click, so it was so much excitement. And but it wasn't just me that was featured in there that makes this documentary so special. So I thought I was only going to be in this documentary maybe 5-10 minutes, because there was another a couple, Craig and Abigail out of Atlanta, Georgia. There was Jeff Lewis from Arizona, Todd Whalen from oh my God, I'm brain farting where he's from, but he's up in Canada, British Columbia, sorry. And a few others that got to speak, but their interviews were kind of, small in there. And we got to the Tribeca Film Festival in 2016, and that was when Sony Motion Pictures, Ghost Corps, which is the office that Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman made the major hub of all things Ghostbusters. And then they picked up on the film. And it kind of endorsed it and got involved a little bit. So we were at Tribeca Film Festival, and they were debuting like a rough edit of the film, just to get some feedback and see. And we turned the Greenwich Village in Lower Manhattan into Spook Central. We had 7 Ecto-1 replica cars. We had Ghostbusters from all over the country.
I mean, Greenwich Village is only really like 2 blocks, right? Because I've been down there years ago, and it's really only a fucking block and a half.
Yep. Right? With the old cobblestone streets and everything.
And then you got 2 or 3 Ectos on that.
No, we had 7. We had the Ecto 1, we had Ecto 1A, and then we had all these fan cars there as well, too. So they dubbed the big banners at Spook Central. We had the New York City Ghostbusters there, which I have to give a shout out to New York City Ghostbusters. Those guys do so much charity. They just did a toy drive yesterday. They raised over $3,000 to buy toys for homeless kids. So shout out to the New York City Ghostbusters.
Yes, and let's talk about that for a second, because I mentioned this earlier when I was talking about you being on and us talking about Ghostbusters. You have these ghost hunting groups that it's like paranormal New Jersey, paranormal Ohio. You have Ghostbusters. This is literally one of those types of organizations. You have groups of people are Ghostbusters fans, and
there's actually some fans that are like me, but they're into it because of the real paranormal stuff. So I've had members that that are still in my franchise
trying to catch people with the screams, man.
No, they don't try to do that, but they have all those EMP recording devices and this and that, and they really infrared this, and they really get into it, just like ghost hunters and stuff that you see on TV. But they're really into it. A good friend of mine from Minnesota. Adam Norrie. He's a Ghostbuster fan like me. They have a charity group called Ghostbusters North. They work with the Ronald McDonald's Foundation. He's an author for all his paranormal experiences and everything. And they're really into it. And I think that's what kind of makes their group very successful too, because they use the real life terminology and everything, just as you hear on the screen in Ghostbusters. All those fancy words and ectoplasm, psychokinetic energy actually comes from Dan Aykroyd. He believes in mediumship.
It's actually science, man.
It really is. His brother has a book. The late Peter Aykroyd. He just passed away a couple of weeks ago, sadly. But he has a book, and it's really interesting if you're into the paranormal. It's called A History of Ghosts, and it's a true story of seances, mediums, ghosts, and Ghostbusters. And it's by Peter Aykroyd, which is Dan Aykroyd's brother. They grew up with their grandfather doing all these seances and mediumships and everything. So all that lingo and everything.
So this was a role that Dan Aykroyd didn't have to think twice about.
No, well, his original script had like multiple teams of Ghostbusters and an outer space and a black car with ultraviolet lights and everything. And then Ivan was kind of like, how about we make this like an origin story, like, starting from the bottom. And then they went into Harold Ramis's basement, and they hashed out what we see on the screen now from '84 in a weekend in their basement.
That, man... Damn. All right, Jackal Monkey, go ahead.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't
even know where to go, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm a huge fucking Ghostbusters fan, and for those of you who like, if people haven't seen Extreme Ghostbusters, that the cartoon that came out later, it's very dark. It's dark as hell.
It is.
Like
for Disney too, no less. I mean, like, people go, really? Right. Disney made this? We're like, yeah, it was nice. And I think, and that's a good segue, Jonathan, for the project that I'm doing, Ghostbusters Hell Fury, because Michael Walker is keeping, the continuity of the original films, and we've actually had our writers go back and kind of add some Easter eggs and stuff to kind of keep it in the universe with the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie.
Did you ever get to read the original script?
Yes, I have read the original scripts. When I was out in California on the Sony lot, in the Ghost Corps offices, they have one of the original copies.
Ghost Corps offices.
Yep.
Oh my God. It's like we don't have enough time for any of that shit.
I want to go work there, Otis, because if you work at the front desk there, do you know what you get to stare at all day long out the front door?
Oh.
The Ecto 1. the real one used in the movie sits right outside their office doors.
Holy shit.
Yep. Oh yeah. She sits right out front.
All right. Well, go ahead. Continue if you can remember.
So the Ghostbusters Hell Fury is, you know, a continuation. Our story takes place in 1997, and we have some of the characters from the comics, from the cartoon, Extreme Ghostbusters.
That's where Lydia comes in.
And that's where Lydia, the amazing Lydia Manson, comes in. She's going to be playing our Kylie Griffin. We are so excited for her for that. But we have other important characters that we're bringing onto the screen. So we have our Winston Zedmore, who's being played by Ramon Alonso. Our Peter Venkman is played by Chris Naples, who's seen in the movie Werewolf Grandma. He's been in Creed 1 and 2. Very, very nice guy.
I don't like the band Creed.
No, not the band Creed. The movie Creed. Yeah, the movie. The good stuff. The good stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, there's no arms wide open here unless it's for Ghostbuster stuff. So,
hey, let me ask you this real quick. As Thomas is asking, was the original very different from the film version? When you read the script, how much did it change from what we all saw in the screen?
Well, the original script was like what I was just saying, where Dan Aykroyd had this notion of having multiple teams of busters and being involved with space and universe and time rips and an ultraviolet lights on a black car. And they decided to change it up over one weekend in Harold Ramis's basement, because Harold Ramis was only a writer, but he fell in love with one of the characters that he was writing, and then ended up wanting to play him, which is the character we all know as Egon Spengler.
Right, Egon.
Right.
But in '84,
go ahead.
In '84, while Dan's idea wasn't bad, it was ahead of its time for CGI and everything, which was very new. We only saw that in Star Wars, which it would have just cost so much money to have been made. And if they went the way that it originally was panned out, I don't think we would be talking about Ghostbusters to the magnitude that we are today right now.
Interesting. I mean, and then that brings me to my next question. You personally, Ghosthead Tom, what is it about Ghostbusters? I know we've talked about, it being, a love that you got from your grandfather. What is it, though, about that movie that just holds you so? I mean, we're looking there. You see, you got Ghost over there and that one little contraption there. I mean, you got the sound. What is?
I got everything.
You do.
I think for me, I think a big part of it is being doubted.
I'm sorry, what?
I think a lot of it has to do with people doubting you, people thinking that you're crazy for having your convictions based on what you find and discover is real. So if you watch the original film, they got fired from their positions at the university that they were at because they
were looking into
the paranormal, and Dean Yeager he was just like we find your theories sloppy and worst of tripe and everything, and I'm chopping this up. So many fans are going to be messaging me after this and going, "You don't remember the line?" I do, but
so I go fuck themselves. We don't care. So man. You're under a lot of pressure here.
So I think a lot of it came with that disbelief, and then not just quitting, going, you know what, fine, I'm not accepted here. Well, I'm accepting myself, and I'm going to keep moving forward.
I'm going to keep going, right?
Our characters, the characters that we know and love from Ghostbusters, are also widely different. Also, just like in real life, everyone comes from a very different walk of life. So you had, Peter Venkman was more of like the game show host, as Dana Barrett refers to him in the one scene. And then you have Winston, which I relate to Winston's character so much because he was the everyday guy, and there's a job, like they're hiring, let me go there, and he becomes a hero.
Right.
And these guys are from all different walks of life and how they kind of come together. So growing up, it was like, it was okay to be the cool, the cool guy. It was okay to be the nerd. It was okay to be the hard worker. It was okay to be this one, but not be separated into those cliques and being able to work uniformly together. And that's what a lot of this, that's a lot of the reason why I got involved with this Ghostbusters Hell Fury project, is because there's so many talented walks of life within this cast and crew that you feel like family. You're all so different, but yet we're all together and we're accomplishing so many great things that we're getting so much feedback, all from the love of a film. So imagine how much more love and positivity we could have in the world if we all started focusing on
and started making films, man. How much?
Yeah, let's make more films. But I think if you can be anything in this world, be kind. And I wanted to touch base on that, because and I think this is a good time, Otis, because we had some private conversations, especially this time of the year. I think a lot of people go through a lot, and the last 2 years have been really hard on a lot of people. And people have lost people. People have stopped talking to one another because their views, whether it's politically or scientifically, vary so differently. And I think at the end of the day, we all forget that we're all just humans walking around, and we're just a bunch of skeletons in this meat sack that we're walking around.
Jesus.
And
hey, don't hold back, Tom.
And and I think everyone should just really just try to kind of understand each other. You don't have to change your beliefs or conform to someone else's, or walk and be disconnected from someone's life completely because you don't see on the same page of something. Focus on things that you do. Focus on things that you both enjoy, and work on that, because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. There's going to be busters there that are going to capture us all. And I've got news for you. If you can't stay together here now in the living, wait until you get... If you can't stay together here in the living, wait until you're in our containment unit when you're all stuck in the same unit.
Oh my God, we're all going to be in that little fucking box right over there.
Well, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of stoned people in there getting contacts hanging around you guys.
That's awesome, man. Hey, we're almost, to the hour point. Tom, I want you to tell everyone about everything, the Ghost Heads documentary, everything you got going, man. What you got Lydia doing? Tell us about it all in the last.
All right, so for me right now, in the last couple minutes, Ghost Heads, it's a pastime, but I still promote it. Because there's so many wonderful fans like me across the country, like we were talking about earlier. But, I've gotten involved with a fan film with Blue Core Studios. It was done by Eddie Lebron. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's versus Ghostbusters. Go on YouTube. You'll see it. We got 2.8 million hits on that.
Freddy,
No, the Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm gonna show that to Abby. She'll fucking love that.
I know. Is that like Freddy Krueger? I seen a little teddy bear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They're like
Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's based off a video game. Otis.
Yep.
All right.
I got to cameo. I got to cameo as a Ghostbuster for the Ghostbusters commercial that a security guard is watching in there. As well as my Ecto-1 replica was also brought in to be used for that fan film. 2.8 million hits on YouTube. Right now, we are actually in talks with the same studio that did that film that I was part of, because they did a Mega Man and a Sonic fan film. So the three projects all together, they had over 10 million hits online. Wow. So I think we're in talks with them. We haven't gotten anything on ink, so no pressure, Blue Core Studio, if you're watching me talk about you.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, but
I don't know of any studios that actually watch this show.
So I did save for the I did save for the end of the show some exclusive news. Yes. Just for you. So with Ghostbusters Hell Fury, yes, we have Lydia Manson. We have our Ray, our Egon, our Peter, and our Winston, which is all being played by Paul Nevin. So go to our Facebook page at Ghostbusters Hell Fury. Look into our cast and crew. You'll see a picture. Our Egon Spangler is played by Paul Nevin.
Oh my God, he looks just like him.
Doesn't he?
Yeah,
oh
dude,
my God, it is so
badass,
canny.
dude.
It's like Harold Ramis's unknown child, like for real.
It really is.
It's fucking awesome,
And
dude.
we really wanted to. We have such a great group of people. We have Walter Peck that's coming back, played by a Johnny D. Donato, which is he really plays a great role. And if you go on our Facebook page, every Friday night at 8:00, we have what's called Buster Blogs, where you get to meet each one of our characters each week, where we give them a guideline of what we would like them to talk about. So it's like a mini short sub-series to what we're doing on screen.
Oh my God, you don't want me asking questions.
But we did it. We did this with our characters as a way for them to also improv, because a lot of the great dialogue in the Ghostbusters film was done with ad libs and improv.
Man, yes, and Bill Murray's one of the greats when
he's sharp as a tack. He's very witty. He's very clever. He's very quick on the draw to do that. So this is why we did that, because it's also something for the audience, because we wanted to talk about what these characters were about between Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2, where you don't see them on scene, where you see them in between Ghostbusters 2 and the video game and the cartoons. And I myself am playing Brian Welsh, which is known as the Rookie from the video game that came out in 2009. So I'm really excited to bring that. I'm really excited to bring that character to life, because in the video game, he doesn't utter a word. So I get to be a little creative. I get to be a little creative as to how I want this character to be, which I'm really excited. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we have Kevin Kuchaver doing our VFX. For those who don't know who Kevin Kuchaver is, he did films such as all the RoboCop films, DC, Marvel, but more specifically, he did all the Ghost Proton streams, all the VFX for Ghostbusters 2. He's bringing that to life in our web series. I have Rusty.
That is awesome.
I have Rusty Gilligan, who is a very well-known and talented, extremely sweet, big-hearted guy who's been in the TV and film industry for decades. He's done Topps trading cards. He's done DC and Marvel films himself, the Avengers. He's just, I don't have enough time to talk about how many wonderful accolades and talents this man has, but I am so happy to say he's part of our team.
Tom,
and he does voiceover work.
Well, he could have been Rusty Griswold.
Well,
I'm just saying.
And then another big name.
Go ahead. What was your first horror movie that you fell in love with? Just real quick. One of our viewers wanted to know.
Oh man, that's going to be hard.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. I would have to say, for me, it would probably be it's a toss up between two. It would probably, no, it's actually a toss up between Chucky or Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Hell yeah!
I like horror comedy. I like comedy. So if horror and comedy came in, if we're going straight horror, probably Freddy Krueger was probably the first one that as a kid that I watched. Gave me some nightmares as a kid. But I've enjoyed all the Freddy films, all the Michael Myers films.
But you are, I mean, obviously more of a, just lighthearted entertainment. If you got to deal with, paranormal. I mean, that's your thing, right? I
like my comedy because I feel
paranormal investigator. I know somebody is wanting to know this, being a Ghostbuster fanatic. Do you go to places looking for Casper?
No, but I have gone to places like, the Gates of Hell and certain things that are like in the weird New Jersey
Slimer? Yeah, you find the Slimer?
No, we like Slimer now. We just have to give him like 22 hot dogs and like he chills out and just sits around, he's good.
He's good, man.
But another big person that we have too is we have a gentleman his name is, he goes by Rahi High. That's his performance name. but his real name is Rocky Hudson, and he's Ernie Hudson's son. And he's a very talented musician that I'm very good friends with, and he is sampling us some theme songs. We're going to be having him produce music for scores for scenes and stuff that are going on. So that's the exclusive news for you, is that we have one of the OG Ghostbusters, very talented sons, doing the music. And
Right.
I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it, and I'm not going to say which character, but we are working very hard on having a cameo from one of the original Ghostbusters.
It's got to be Bill Murray. Don't even fuck with me, Tom. It's got to be Bill Murray.
You're gonna have to wait for us to start releasing the episodes. We start filming in May, and I know Lydia touched base on that a little bit. But we start our film production in May, and that's where we're going to be working on the official teaser trailer. But we're going to be filming at the original firehouse. Inside, we're going to have the Ecto one that you just saw in there come flying out of there. We're going to be ruling the streets of New York. We're going to have cameras and chaser cars. We're going to have our entire cast and crew there, suited up, the whole nine. It's going to be a big blast. We're just not revealing to the public what the dates are and the time frames, because as you can imagine, even when I go just by myself to the firehouse to hang out with those guys and I'm in full regalia, there's crowds of people that come because they're like, oh my God, and they have the sign hanging up in the window, and it's just so.
I hate to cut you off, Tom, but I think Lydia was mentioning that this was all going to be filmed at the original firehouse.
I had some meetings. I had meetings with the FDNY back in October. We made the arrangements, and we wanted to do it in May because with the active
firehouse.
It is an active firehouse. If you ever visit, stop by there. They have custom Ghostbuster Hook and Ladder 8 shirts and hoodies and everything. And I really always tell everyone, go there, purchase it, because you're really supporting that firehouse. Don't buy the stuff offline. When you go and buy it directly from them, it benefits those guys at the firehouse, and they work hard to save everyone's lives. They don't have to entertain the fans of Ghostbusters, and they do. They hang up the original sign from Ghostbusters 2 that they still have every year. They have the new sign that's out. Man. They let you come in and take pictures, and they really embrace the fans, and I can't thank them enough for allowing us. So if any of them are watching, thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Exactly. If we have any viewers in the New York area, go down there and visit that Ghostbusters firehouse.
Visit 14 North Moore Street in Lower Manhattan.
There you go. 14 North Moore Street.
Yep, it's on the corner of Moore and Varick by the first police precinct.
That is beautiful. Tom, hey, we're gonna chat here. After
Yeah, definitely. Let's make a night of it, man. I'm here.
I do have to end the live broadcast because we have other shows that are gonna come on. So
and listen, while we have me on the air, I just want to say, everyone, thank you that was tuning in. Thank you for having me on here. I know we have so much that we have to talk about, so I think we're gonna have to come back with the director and some more of our cast members.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. We need a Ghostbusters panel. How about that?
You got it. You know what?
Panel.
You know what, Otis? There's one thing I got to say.
Oh,
you know who to call.
I know Lydia.
Yeah, or you call her. Yeah. Forget Ghost Head Tom. We want Lydia.
Well, she's prettier than you are. I mean, I'm not.
You know what, Otis? I got to give it to you to that. You know what? All of our cast and crew is beautiful and handsome.
Man, I can't wait to see everybody. I can't wait to see Ghostbusters Hellfire. Man, Ghost Head Tom Gebhardt, thank you so much, man.
No, thank you. And everyone, happy holidays, happy new year. If you're feeling down or bummed, reach out to someone. You can find me on Facebook. Reach out to me. I can be someone you can vent to. If you need someone to talk to, if you're feeling depressed, you're feeling whatever, don't be afraid to ask for help because there's always somebody out there. And if you can't find one, you found one here. Find me and I will be more than happy to talk to you.
There you go. There you go. See, I mean, Jackal Monkey, do you got anything else you want to say to Tom? We're gonna put him.
No, man. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you coming on. It's been badass, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have you guys to thank and Lydia more importantly because I found out about this amazing podcast through her. And honestly, a big thanks to me goes to our director, Michael Walker from Walker Factor Productions, because I wouldn't be here talking about this project if it wasn't for his vision in creating this and keeping the vow, turning the promise into a vow for what it relates to him with his grandfather.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And that's absolutely beautiful. I hope my grandson does the same thing. I think he will.
So I'm going to end the note with a classic line from my Ghostbusters 2 because as much as I love the first one, Ghostbusters 2 has a very special place in my heart. And listen, things are good and bad. They come and go. So sometimes shit happens. Someone's got to deal with it. And who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Hell Fury on Facebook. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No job is too big. No fee is too big.
Oh, my God, dude. I mean, you practice that. I mean...
I'm just programmed. I could do the whole movie for you right now. Like I have seen shit that will turn you white. Okay.
There's no doubt in my mind, man. I'm gonna put you in the backstage real quick.
Thank you again so much. Thank you, everyone. Keep coming back and watching Night of the Living Dreads. This is where it's at.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hey, don't go nowhere, Tom, because I'm going to talk to you here in a minute. Jackal Monkey, what'd you think about that? My God, my head is so big. I'm not used to it being like that.
Yeah, right. It's weird me being on the goddamn phone, man.
I know, you're weird.
Yeah, I am weird, but having a little bit of technical difficulties right now, but hopefully we'll get that fucking squared away soon, and Ugly Mug will be back on here.
Hey man,
we'll be back Sunday. We'll be back Sunday with some big. Are
we coming back Sunday? I haven't let Tyler know. I'm not sure what we're doing Sunday. I didn't know we were going to do it.
Yeah, I figured we could drop a few bombs with some of our stuff with what's going on.
That's right. Come and hang out then. Yeah, there you go. Come and hang out, man. Otis and Jackal Monkey there Sunday at 6. Scurryface. Scurryface Media, man. It's not just about, haunt acting anymore, man. You have all different kinds of media now, and that's what's happening. So, keep it there at Scurryface Media or Scurryface, the Facebook page. Hit those notifications, man. What a fun fucking show, and I knew it was gonna be. Ghostbusters, really?
Right. Fuck yeah. I mean, who doesn't love Ghostbusters?
Exactly.
Everybody.
If you don't fucking listen to this show. All right. Here we go. We're gonna, I'm gonna take us out with a brand new intro, and we're gonna do, the intro as an outro now. This is from our good friend, Mr. Tom Nally. Go visit him over there in the YouTube channel. This is Tom's World. Jackal Monkey, thank you. What a great show. We're gonna
absolutely
here. Hey, have a good week, everyone. We'll talk to you Sunday.
Scurryface presents Night of the Living Dreads podcast with your host, Otis B. Dreads, Jack L. Monkey. Night of the Living Dreads podcast. Indie horror has a new home.